Hello, I'm Sensei Alex Kakuyo, North American contributor for Buddhist Global. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's Dharma talk is Indifferent Karma. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. I had a funny experience here on the homestead involving some of my vegetables. You see, some vegetables like tomatoes or green peppers enjoy hot, sunny weather. They're for the summer. Other vegetables like your leafy greens, the collards, the kale, the spinach, they like cool, wet weather. So you grow them either in the spring or in the fall. Now, the problem with growing things like kale and spinach in the spring is that you have to deal with frost. Even though they like cool weather, if the temperature goes below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, they'll freeze and die just like any other veggie. The way we get around this in gardening circles is via a greenhouse. So I grew my leafy green vegetables, my kale, my lettuce, my collard greens in the greenhouse this year during the spring, and everything went well. They grew up big and beautiful. They got cold at night, but not too cold. And then I got a little greedy. I don't know if I just wanted them to get bigger so I'd have more food, or if I just liked looking at them. But the temperature started to get warmer, and I didn't harvest them. And eventually it got a little too warm. On one day in particular, it got up to the 90s in the greenhouse. The greenhouse temperature obviously is always much higher than what it is outside. And the collard greens especially didn't like that. So much so that a few of the plants started to wilt and were close to dying. It was at that point that I finally decided that I should probably harvest all the veggies in the greenhouse. The point of the story is this. My collard greens, even though they were suffering, did nothing wrong. They grew up big and beautiful like they were supposed to. They absorbed nutrients from the soil, absorbed energy from the sun just like they were supposed to. And yet they suffered. Some of them came close to dying. Not because of anything they did, not because of their own karma. Rather, the karma that occurred was indifferent. They were affected by things completely outside of their control. Now, this happens to vegetables, but it also happens to human beings. Yes, sometimes it is our fault. Sometimes we make bad decisions, and when that happens, we should own that and try to do better in the future. However, we should also use our inner wisdom to recognize those moments when something bad happens and there was nothing else we could do. We left the house 30 minutes early to arrive to our appointment on time, but there was a terrible traffic accident or some other thing, construction that stopped us from getting there, that slowed our journey. Nothing that we could plan for, nothing that we could know was going to happen. So even though we suffer in that moment, it's important to realize that we're not at fault. It's simply something we need to accept and move on. When we recognize those moments of indifferent karma in our lives, the times when we suffer through no fault of our own, we'll learn to not blame ourselves, not worry over things that we have no control over. And in doing so, we'll be able to end suffering for ourselves and for others. Amitabha.